I never thought of it before. It's like a kind of Kadampa chur practice. You're cutting your ego to pieces because you're giving other people the victory. You're giving other people the advantages. You're saying, okay, use me. I'm here for you. You can eat me up. And this is very practical. Because whether or not spirits come and eat your visualized offering, I don't know. But for sure people will come and take advantage. This is a wonderful way to cut through the ego. This is what it's doing, is cutting through. Cutting through our self-cherishing mind. So you all think you're wonderful chirpers. This is it. Isn't it? But we mustn't take it too seriously. Because it's all an illusion. Understanding all phenomena as like illusions, be released from the bondage of attachment. In other words, this is all a dream. As His Holiness says, we're dreaming. And some dreams are beautiful, some dreams are nightmares, but they're all dreams. So, just as when we wake up from a dream, however real it seemed while we were dreaming, when we wake up, we say, oh, that was just a dream. So we are all dreaming samsara. Things are not the way they appear to be. This much is for sure. We do not see things as they really are. We see things through the distortion of our fabricated ego and the kind of sense organs with which we are endowed as human beings. But things are not the way they appear to be. And as long as we are caught in this basic ignorance, we suffer. So it goes round in a circle. I suffer, you suffer, they suffer, out there they're suffering. Who is not suffering? So much suffering in this world. I am just me, one person. Millions of people out there wanting to be happy. Why waste my life trying to bring happiness to one person when I could use it beneficially to bring happiness to many? Isn't it? I mean, just from the logistics of it. And the amazing thing is that if we do get out the way and we do start thinking, you know, one of the other things the Kadampas say is this exchanging of ourselves with others. Now, this is taught also by Shantideva. I don't know if anybody ever practices it, but it's a very interesting practice. When you're talking with somebody, to put yourself in their shoes and imagine how you would be if you were them and their needs and their worries and their joys and whatever. Imagine you as them. What would you want that other person there to do? So that way you look at yourself as if you're the other. And for sure you wouldn't want that other to be rude or abusive or cheat you or in any way harm you. You would want that other person to be kind, to be thoughtful, to be honest with you, and so forth. Do you understand? So, I mean, in this way, you can see very clearly how you should act. I mean, you know, if we just put ourselves in the place of another being, how could we hurt that being? Because that being doesn't want to be hurt. But we have no empathy. You know, people who are, you know, psychotic killers and people, they train, you know, they train people in certain, you know, very aggressive armies and terrorists and people who are training to be torturers. They train them not to have empathy. Empathy means the ability to put yourself in that another person's place and feel what they would feel. And so they teach them how to cut off that ability to feel for that other person. So that other person just becomes an object. In that way, you can kill them, you can torture them, you can do what you like because they don't really exist, except as a thing. They're not a sentient being, a being with feelings and consciousness. And this is the same for people who like to hunt or people who are butchers. They don't think, how would I feel if I was that animal? That terrified goat or sheep. If for one moment they could put themselves into the mind stream of that animal and feel that animal's terror and despair, they couldn't harm it. How could they harm it? How could they eat it? How can you eat the flesh of a being that has died in terror? So everybody, almost everybody you meet inside, they have pain, they have problems, they have suffering. So drop our concern with our own problems and suffering and open the heart to embrace the sufferings of all beings. And in a very practical way. You don't have to make it into a big thing. It just means that whoever you are with, imagine you were them, how would you want to be treated? Just being nice. Just being kind. Just stop making ourselves the focus of all our thoughts and opinions and, you know, just get out the way for a change. Open up the heart and the vision to embrace all beings. That way we make use of our life. We have a human life. We have this human life, and somehow or other we made the tremendous good karma to have met with the Dharma, and not just met with the Dharma, but have faith and interest in the Dharma. That is the result of enormous stores of positive karma. I mean, billions of people living in this world have never even heard the word Buddha. And even if they heard it, they wouldn't know what to do with it. They wouldn't be allowed to become interested. We take it for granted. We think, oh yes, the Dharma's everywhere. There are teachers everywhere. There are so many books, how to even deal with them. But we don't realize how unique this is. It's such a unique opportunity. You are educated, you are free to read what you want, you are free to practice what you want, you have the opportunity to meet with great masters who come. If we don't use this life to really seriously transform And at the end of the day, we just stay very ordinary beings, but with a head full of knowledge about the Dharma, then we have wasted this life. And if we waste this life, who knows what will happen in the future? We cannot be sure we will meet with the Dharma again. So right now, while this opportunity is here, don't waste it. Really, really practice so that at the time of death, and who knows when death will come, we might be dead tomorrow, who knows, especially on these roads. I know many people who have died in Nepal on the roads. I'm not joking. When we come to die, we should be able to die with no regrets. Okay, I use my life for the benefit of myself, whoops, and for the benefit of others. And fair enough. It was a well-used life, and I'm ready to go on. Otherwise, as Khenpo was saying this morning, we postpone. We postpone all the time, waiting for the perfect opportunity when we can really get down to practicing Dharma. But that opportunity probably will never, ever come. Now, the only time, the only perfect opportunity is right now. There is no other. There is no tomorrow. There's only now. But real practice means that really, really, we don't just keep the Dharma in our head, we absorb it right down into our hearts and transform our hearts and stop being so preoccupied with me, me, me. That's a sign of a truly good practitioner, is that they really care for others and they're not so interested in themselves and their own preoccupations and their own worries and their own problems. They're more concerned with how they can help others. What can I do to help you? That's the thought in their mind, whoever they meet. Maybe just a smile, namaste, thank you. But not always thinking me, 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 me. Dharma people are very bad sometimes. All this meditation, people only think about themselves. And yet always the texts are saying, think about others, think about others, think about others. Purify your motivation. Why are you practicing? You are practicing so that you can take all beings with you. Not just so that I can feel better, not just so I can be happy and have wonderful experiences and realizations, but so that all beings can come. You know, the Mahayana is called the big ship. And because it's supposed to bring everybody on board with us and take everybody with us. This is why it's such a huge, huge aspiration. That we are not just practicing for our own benefit. We are practicing in order to help everyone else. And not just in an abstract way, you know, all those sentient beings out there somewhere. Your family, your Dharma brothers and sisters, your work colleagues, your friends, everybody, the person in the shop, the taxi driver, whoever you meet, they're a human being who wants to be happy and does not want to suffer. So at least when we meet them in our heart, we can acknowledge that, remember that. And at least not harm them and hopefully help them. Even if only with a smile. There are endless opportunities to benefit beings and to be kind. At least we can be kind. isn't it? And then at the end of the lifetime, even if we haven't had great spiritual realizations, even if the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions haven't come and thrown flowers on us and saying, you're well done, son and daughter of good family, so what? At least we feel that we have done something to uproot our negative qualities and to cultivate the good qualities, and that our ego absorption has grown less, and our ability to open up to the happiness and suffering of others has grown more. And if we can think that, then that is a life well lived. So please, I exhort all of you, moment to moment to moment, to practice. Don't put off practice to when you're in retreat. Every person you meet, every word you say, every thought you think, if it is done with awareness and the heart is opened with kindness, that is your practice. And I would suggest that you get a copy of these 8 verses, and like the Dalai Lama, you learn them by heart, and you recite them every morning to yourself, so that they become instinctual. And when difficult circumstances arise, that verse will spring into your head, and you'll think, aha, good, now is a chance to practice. Isn't it? These beautiful nuns and beautiful monks are professional practitioners. But if we take the Dharma into our heart and really try to cultivate a good heart, as the Dalai Lama calls it, a good heart, then we are all professional Dharma practitioners. The Dharma is our profession. If people say, oh, what do you do for a profession? You can say, you know, I practice Dharma. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm also happy, of course, and very grateful to His Holiness and His Eminence Kamto Rinpoche for, you know, getting this going, and all the enormous work that the volunteers have all done to bring this together and create such auspicious connections with everybody. And I'm also very grateful to them for allowing me to say these few very simple words. And so thank you all very much for listening. Thank you. May you all be well and happy.